Told ya, Captain Calamity.
So just before this video starts, just want to say we are in the process of changing cameras, so we might be jumping around in quality through the video, but from the videos going forward from this, they're all going to be in the better camera quality. But thanks for watching, I hope you enjoy the video.
So this is my Reliant Rialto, which is basically just a Reliant Robin, but it's a facelift. So it's a little bit newer, but it's basically the exact same car as a Robin Reliant. Now these cars became hugely popular in England in the 80s and the 90s and probably the late 70s, and that was because you could drive these cars with a motorbike license, and because this meant they were super cheap to run and to drive to work. Now these cars became extremely popular with the miners because they used to ride to the mines on motorcycles. It was a lot cheaper to get to work in a car or faster than walking. And in the snow and in the winter and stuff, they hated riding the motorbikes to work. So here was the solution. It was basically a car that you could drive with a motorbike license. And because of this and many other reasons, these were one of the most popular cars in Britain, and it became even more popular, starring on shows like The Only Fools and Horses.
What are you looking for? Just trying to see if there's any petrol coming through to the carburetor.
And because of all this, these cars quickly became one of the most notorious and notable cars ever made, the three-wheeler Robin Reliant. Now these cars are absolutely hilarious, and quite frankly I don't know how they were legal. These cars are so dangerous, it is unbelievable. The whole car is made out of fiberglass, and not thick fiberglass. I'm on about like 1 or 2 mil thick fiberglass. When we took the body off this, it was literally held on by rivets and screws, the entire body, and the chassis looks like just a bit of an extended go-kart. I can't believe these things were actually legal. Now one reason to why these probably were even road legal in the first place was how slow they were. With the original engine, these made around 40 horsepower, which is absolutely nothing, but actually, considering the weight of these things, they weren't actually that slow. They weighed about 450 kilos, that's around 90 horsepower per ton, which is quite similar to the new Honda Civic with a 1.8 in. So they weren't actually that slow, and back in the day, in the 80s, these were probably quite fast. But as times have gone on and as YouTube channels have progressed, that's not fast enough. So for some reason, at some point, we decided to spot a motorbike engine in there. So sitting in between my legs right now, literally in between my legs, is a Kawasaki ZX6R. This is a 600cc motorbike sports bike engine, and it produces around 100 horsepower. So this is over double what the original car came with. Now that might not seem very fast. 100 horsepower is nothing, especially in today's standards. But we all know that brake horsepower is just a bragging figure down at the pub. The real number that shows how fast something is the power to weight. Now the weight that we save from taking out that 4-cylinder engine and the gearbox and everything else in the car, this has a better power to weight ratio than a GTR. Now we drove this car once and it was absolutely terrifying, but it wasn't as terrifying as it should be because we couldn't get it out of first gear. Oh my god, I've got no gears! For the past few months we've been trying to find a reliable solution to changing gears. First of all, I wanted it on a sequential shifter, and we just couldn't get the cable strong enough to pull the gears. But in the last video we actually fixed that, and we just welded a rod straight to the gear shifter, so now we can go up through the gears. Actually a bit worried. This thing is going to be so fast. So you're probably thinking, well, what's left then? Why have you not driven it? Why have we not seen a video absolutely scaring the shit out of yourself? Is coming today, because all we had to do, I fit it, and some reason I ended up breaking the clutch cable, so we couldn't drive it because I couldn't put the clutch in. I did find a way to mount, I mean, it was botched, don't get me wrong. I have found a way to mount the clutch to the floor now, because obviously we're going to have to change gears here with this lever, and so we won't be able to pull the clutch in as we did on our old setup. So I have a foot clutch now, so all we have to do is install this new clutch cable, and then we can go through the gears. Oh my god. Now, this car isn't road legal, obviously, but we do have a bit of a drag strip here at the unit.
So all we have to do is remove the old clutch cable first. It's just an 11mm nut, and you can just slide it out, and then you can just slide it away from the actual mechanism. Now the new clutch cable was around £7 on eBay, and it's literally just as simple to install it. And once you've got it into the engine side, you can actually install it back onto the lever. It's almost pretty much just like a bicycle cable. It's pretty much the exact same design.
So what we had initially was we had the cable coming through here and then up there, and it's just a horrible angle. And I think that's what's making the cable snap even worse, because we're putting even more tension on the cable than it already has. It already has racing clutches in there. So we kind of want the easiest flowing cable as possible, so we have to provide the least pulling power, because right now I've been through 2 of these. This is actually the 3rd cable I've got. So the cable wants to go up there, so I think we're going to drill a hole up there and run the cable over. That makes the most sense, and hopefully that will give us the biggest pulling torque of the foot clutch, which is going to be here like this, which I've just welded a bar to the chassis so we can use the standard clutch, and it will go something like that.
So as I've said before, the best process is to measure 0 times and just wing it, really.
So now, in theory, we should have foot clutch, and that feels a lot nicer than what it did earlier. So the routing of that cable is 10 times better. So let's just see if it works, eh? I think I've got fuel in this. I hope I've got fuel. Doesn't sound very fuely, does it? God's sake, I hate putting fuel in this thing. So we've got an issue. I don't know where the keys are. There's like a bunch of keys, like one does the lock, one does the fuel cap, and I don't know where they are. I'm praying they're at home in my drawer. So if they're not, it's a far from ideal situation. So I think I'm gonna have to postpone this for myself for another day, because I can't put any fuel in there.
Now you actually might not have noticed, I'm not that much of a miserable today. I'm actually quite chirpy, because over the past couple of years I've actually had quite a bit of an issue with motivation and energy, and I actually have been dropping vitamin B12 tablets for a while now. I'm not gonna lie, they did help, but as of recently they've started to lose the kick, so I needed to find a replacement, and I'm glad to say I've actually found it.
Now, unhealthy energy drinks are definitely not for me. I hate the way they taste and they make me feel awful. Now, Holy is the first healthy, real alternative to those energy drinks. Holy actually have a tagline which is no bullshit. They actually advertise a tagline which is no bullshit, which means they've got no sugar, no taurine, and no artificial flavours or colours. Now, a company that actually swears in the tagline, I absolutely love, because it just shows personality and realism behind the actual company. Besides the fact they only have 4 calories per 100ml, they actually have a new calf formula, which is over 14 vitamins and nootropics to actually provide the energy that you need without getting you irritated or feeling like a big crash like a lot of the other energy drinks do. You just put one little sachet in there, fill it with water, and off you go. Big bash bosh, bing bash bosh bosh bosh. And it's easy to drink. I actually find a lot of sachet drinks, especially energy sachet drinks, they always leave like a really bitter taste. And they always leave like a residue in your mouth after, like almost like you need to brush your teeth. This is literally just tastes like a sweet flavoured water. It's definitely not as bitter and as harsh as a lot of the other sachet drinks that I've drank. They don't just do energy drinks, they've actually got a hydration sachets as well, which is something I really need to do, because I definitely don't drink enough water when I'm working on the cars. And they've also got iced tea sachets as well. So if you want to go and have a look at their extensive range of products, and actually just go look at some of the reviews that these guys have got. And there's actually 2 discount codes on the screen right now if you want to go over and try it for yourself. And for now, let's go and get back to the Reliant and scare the living life out of myself.
Now luckily the keys were at home.
Okay, I've got the keys. I don't know which one it is. Honestly, there's about 13 keys on here. Bosh.
Now the reason I hate putting fuel in this car is, for some reason, why do the companies who make these fuel cans, why do they not hard attach them to the cartons, because what happens is you find the cartons and the spouts always piss off, and you can never put fuel in any car unless you're using it like me and you've cut up a Lucozade bottle. But anyway, let's finally start this damn thing.
Maybe it's not getting fuel, or but it is, because I've checked the fuel pump, it's working. I'm going to pull the fuel line off and just make sure it is actually getting fuel.
Now, after taking the fuel line off, it was actually pushing fuel through to the engine, which is great news. Now, old engines like this, they only need a couple things to run, which is fuel and spark. So if it is getting fuel, it's obviously not getting spark. So we have to take off the airbox to get access to the spark plugs. And I was a bit worried about this because I'd never removed the airbox while the engine has been in the car. And it was tight, but we managed to get it off.
Okay, so after we removed all the airbox, you can actually get the plugs out. So this is the FAR, this is cylinder number 4. So we're going to test the plugs and the leads. So to test the leads, get a screwdriver, put it in the end, and put it near something metal, like the head. Okay, now what you'll see is, when you crank, you'll see a little spark jump from the screwdriver to the engine block, or whatever it is you're grounding it on. And that'll mean the HT lead's working. So I'm getting spark. You won't be able to see it, but I'm getting spark. Just trying to fight that. I'm getting spark at the HT leads. Now to test the plugs and the gap in the plugs, we're going to put the plug in, ground the plug. So a little bit different this time. What you want to do is you want to ground the plug. So actually touch that on something metal, and you should see a spark in the tip of the spark plug. Getting no spark. It's getting no spark, so I think the plugs are ruined.
Now, I was really worried as to why all 4 plugs had failed at the same time. It seems insane, but on the way home, I think I remember the reason why. Now, this is one of my friends, Tom, driving the car, also when it had no coolant in. And when he pulled over, it was hot. The engine was very hot. So what probably has happened is it's just melted all the inside of the plugs.
Okay, so it is a few days later, and my new spark plugs have come. I thought I ordered some Bosch spark plugs. Turns out I wasn't looking at all, and I've ordered some Torch spark plugs. They didn't have terrible reviews, so we're going to go for it. And I've literally just pulled it in quickly to the unit. I want to just put these plugs in and just make sure that is actually the problem before we pull it outside. So let's just bang these 4 plugs in, and let's pray it starts. And let's pray it starts. If it doesn't start, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
Now, I wouldn't really recommend putting unknown spark plugs in a car that you care about, but if you can see the state of this car, I'm not going to finish the sentence. Now, it still wasn't firing. Now, this is probably because all the airbox is not on and all the vacuum lines aren't on, but I'm just going to take the plug out and arc it against the body and just make sure we are actually getting spark.
Okay, so we're getting spark at the end of the tip now of the plug, which is good. So I pretty much am pretty positive it's because all the airbox isn't on and none of the vacuum lines are plugged in. So I'm going to put it all back together. It better f***ing work. If this doesn't start now, I need to be a little bit worried, I'm not going to lie. Because the last time this ran, it overheated. And granted, it has ran before that, or it has ran since then, but it's definitely worrying. I'm holding the choke for dear life. Please. They did this last time and then it got out. Oh my god, yes! Thank god!
So what, this is the clutch?
That's the clutch, yeah.
Okay, alright.
And then this down by your leg is the gear shifter. It's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
A bit. A bit.
The time has come.
It's around 6 o'clock. Most of the units have gone home. There's one guy next door, but I'm pretty sure he won't mind too much. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. Hopefully I don't need the jumper. Please start without the jumper. Please, please. Yeah! Okay, I'm getting scared again now. I watched the latest videos. I now have a foot clutch down there, which is just nothing but in the way of the steering wheel, so that's not ideal. I have my gear shifter up here, which again is just totally in the way of the steering wheel. This is just so wrong, guys. It is so wrong. I feel like I should be going for a gear now. I've got a foot clutch, but I've got my, that's my clutch in, and then hopefully I'll go down again. I should, I don't know what gear that was. Oh, okay, we're in a gear. Oh my God, okay, so up is first, down is second. We're gonna go. Wait, is it? No, it's not. I'm gonna say it takes a while to warm up before you can put the throttle down. First gear, let's go. Oh my God, that's a stiff clutch. Okay, that's gonna take a bit getting used to. Okay, that's gonna be real, that takes a lot getting used to. Right, first. Right, we're gonna go second. Holy shit! Woo! Woo! I'm gonna do another, it works. Do a burnout hour fucking. Do you want me to? Yeah. I'm gonna do another run and gonna see gonna get through the gears. Oh my God. Right, here we go. Holy shit, it doesn't like turning. It does not like turning. Holy shit. Okay, I got up in the RPMs then. That was up in the RPMs. I need a half click. Holy shit, we was up at like 10 then. I felt that one. Oh my God, this clutch is fucking... Don't think it's got enough airflow. Don't think it's got enough airflow. Yeah, a little bit. Ronnie's filming. We're gonna do a burnout. If it will let me anyway. In the second gear. Oh
I told ya, Captain Calamity.
The prop shaft snapped in half. Oh no! Well, no burnouts then.
Got a little bit of a burn.
I got a little bit of one. Holy shit! That was a lot of noise though. That was scary.
If it's
Sweet.
done the, if it's done the prop and the diff end, like the
Right.
ball nose end, or it's just done that. Hopefully,
And then
it's
when they
done
just
that.
slide a new one on.
Yeah, if you can get a new one, just fucking done.
Well, it needs to be a bit strong. Oh no!
So my initial plan after this was to take it down a drag strip and see how fast it is a quarter mile. But I honestly don't know if it's safe enough. I mean, if I want to do that, I think I'd have to put a cage in and I'd need some bulletproof gear on or something. But for now, I suppose let's try and get a new rear end of the prop shaft.